Say what exactly happened in here where we are standing.
Yeah, right now we're standing in Kibbutz Be'eri. It is a small town filled with families, about 1,000 or so families, 1,000 or so people living here. It's an agricultural community, families, parents, kids. And at 6:30 in the morning on October 7th, the day of the October 7th massacre that Hamas committed against Israel, rockets were fired from Gaza, and at the exact same time, thousands of rockets, exact same time, thousands of Hamas terrorists broke through the border, broke through those fences, came across the fields, and came into this town to massacre. You can see on the wall over here, bullet holes. This is a home. This is a family's home. You can probably walk in, you can see how they were living their lives on an average Saturday morning, maybe eating breakfast, maybe they were getting up in the morning to go on a trip, maybe they were just sitting and having family time. 6:30, this rampage started against these families and the Israelis that were living here. And like I said, you can see the devastation. The families that weren't murdered in their sleep or that weren't taken hostage went into some of their safe rooms. In some of these homes, you can see that the Hamas terrorists knew that there were people in their safe rooms. The safe rooms are bomb shelters that every house have to have because this area is used to being under rocket fire. So every home has a bomb shelter. And Hamas intentionally would throw grenades into the house to get or light the house on fire to force people out of their bomb shelters so that they can then murder them as they ran for safety. This is the result of the hate and the dedication of Hamas, the terrorist organization ruling Gaza. This is the result. This is what happens when you have a terror organization in power. And the IDF's goal right now is to ensure that Gaza, which is right there, about an 8-minute walk from here, about an 8-minute drive, an 8-minute drive from here, can never again be a launch pad for terror against Israel.
So are you mentioning two things? Was cuts and they entered. Am I right?
There are many different ways that they entered. They entered through the sky on gliders. They entered through the sea and then came across the roads, murdering everybody that they saw on the roads. And they also broke through in the beginning in the front part of Be'eri. And you can see videos of this from the security cameras. You can see that there was a car, an Israeli car that was trying to get in. Hamas terrorists hid, shot the drivers, and took the car and then tried to ram the car into the front gate. There's different ways, depending on the kibbutz. Some kibbutzim, they came in and broke the gate from behind and they tore down the fence. Some, they just flew over. And some, they came again by crashing through the front security gates and murdering everybody that was there to protect the towns.
And what's the current situation right now here?
Right now, the current situation is that there are thousands of Israelis that have been really injured. There are 300 or so soldiers that have been killed. There are over 300 that have been of Israelis that have been 100 Israelis that have been abducted, and there are hundreds murdered in their towns as they had slept. And right now, currently, the IDF is focused on a very specific mission, again, to ensure that Hamas leadership, from the top, Yahya Sinwar, all the way to the bottom average foot soldier, is completely unable to commit any more atrocities, and they want to. They're dedicated to committing more and more atrocities. We still, till today, they're still firing rockets over. And the IDF's goal as the Israel Defense Forces is to protect Israeli civilians. It's to protect Israel, to defend Israel and Israelis from this ever happening again.
When the ground assault will start?
We are ready for anything. We are ready and we are able, and it is our mission to do whatever possible we can in order to, again, secure Israel both from the inside and from the outside. And when we have the go-ahead and when the operational plans are set, we are ready whenever we need to.
My final question to you, do you think that soil, do you believe and think that there is an intel failure in Israel?
That there's what?
Intelligence failure?
I cannot comment on that. All I know is that everything that we are doing now, we are striking Hamas militants and Hamas targets with intelligence. We are focused right now on ensuring the protection of Israeli civilians.
Do you need any more forces? Are you asking for civilians to join the forces? And
we have called up to over 300,000 reserves in order to ensure that, again, we are ready and strong and able to protect the people of Israel.
Thank you so much. Can you introduce yourself to our viewers?
Sure. My name is Faye, and I'm an IDF spokesperson.
Thank you so much. Can I have one photo with you?
That was wreaked by the Hamas terrorist organization on the 7th of October is everything that you see around you. Just look over there. This is a murderous, barbaric terrorist organization that spent a considerable amount of time working out how many members of this community and other communities, ordinary people, that they could murder. And you see the result. And as far as the IDF is concerned, Hamas can no longer be the government on the other side of the border. It is really as simple as that.
How far border is?
2 kilometers.
Is the ground offensive imminent?
The ground offensive will be conducted when the government makes the decisions it makes, and the IDF is subordinate to the government, as all armies in democratic countries are.
IDF is ready for the ground assault?
The IDF,
Is ready for the ground mission?
of course, the IDF is ready for everything which is asked from them by the government of Israel.
Prime Minister Netanyahu said the ground offensive will begin soon.
Okay, the Prime Minister Netanyahu will, and his cabinet will give the appropriate orders to the IDF.
But
The IDF is, as you know, operating right now.
There will be one. You can absolutely confirm that there will be a ground offensive.
I can confirm that the IDF will act in accordance with the mission that it is allotted to them by the Security Cabinet of the State of Israel.
The soldiers that are here, sir, what do they play in any ground offensive?
This particular unit has this mission at the moment. What they might do in the future, I do not know. But you know what is absolutely clear is that there are 300,000 reservists came together to defend this community, to defend communities like this, because the atrocity of October the 7th profoundly shook this country, and that is something which can never ever happen again. And that means that this terrorist organization that devoted absolutely everything it could to one thing and one thing only, and that is killing as many Israelis as it can no longer be the sovereign power on the other side of that border, 2 kilometers away from where we are now. That is our mission. That is what we are laser focused towards.
Can you
I ask
tell us
about
just
the
how
fence,
difficult
because
the
fence-
battle in Gaza might be with, narrow streets, underground tunnels? What awaits Israeli soldiers when they get across that border?
Well, clearly the IDF has the necessary plans to do what it needs to do. It will be done based on intelligence, it will be done professionally, it will be done with precision, but it will be done.
These fences are electronic monitored. Do you think that the Hamas has entered, cuts the fence, it is a clear-cut intelligence failure?
I think there will be time enough in the future to answer all of these questions.
What are the military specialized in?
I don't know. And we don't give specific details about soldiers.
I want to ask you, sir, when people heartbreaking images, and people might say that the response from the Israelis has not been proportionate in terms of the missiles that are striking. I wanted you to explain sort of
Sure.
what's going on there.
Well, I don't know what proportionate is to the gouging out of children's eyes and to the raping of young people that took place here. What I do know is that the IDF is laser focused on one mission and one mission only, and that is to take out Hamas, its leadership, its infrastructure, everything that they have created here in order to wage their war of terror on Israel. The IDF has a war with Hamas. The IDF does not have a war with the civilian population of Gaza.
Your name, sir.
Your name, sir?
Marcus Chef,
Can you spell, please?
Marcus SHEFF.
Your title?
Major in the reserves.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
sir.